Alright, so here we are with part 3. We have added our scene, we have added our sources, we have layered our sources. For the moment I have my webcam blinded because I wasn't planning on putting myself in these videos. So, in this last video I want to cover, well, not last video, but the third part of this, I want to cover audio. Okay, guys, look, audio is so important to a quality stream or quality content. Okay, 9 times out of 10, if people can understand you and hear you, they're probably not paying too much attention to the quality of your visuals. Okay, now with that being said, that does not mean you go completely cheap and just throw a webcam on and make it look like this and that's all you give them and that's it. Be creative, use the tools that OBS Streamlabs gives you, and make it your own. Okay, now with that being said, we're going to jump over here to the mixer. Now, not only is audio super important, but the mixing of the audio is probably more so important, right? So we have sources within our mixer right now that I call dead sources. These are sources that do not have any kind of audio input. Anytime you add a source into the source box, it's going to add some sort of what I call a monitor, okay? Anytime you see these little bars, these are called monitors. It's going to add a monitor for that source, whether there's audio or not. Now, to get those out of the way, click this little gear cog and just click hide. Now, anything you don't want to show, you can do that. Hide. Boom. Now, the only thing we really got showing is our desktop audio, and we got our microphone. The reason we do not show any monitoring for desktop audio is because the only audio input at the moment is a game capture, and so the only thing that it's going to find audio from is a game. We don't have a game open at the moment, so there's really no audio input to this particular monitor. Now, one thing I want to show you guys, and I think that this is more important than anything. Number one, you want to make sure that your voice is not clipping. By clipping, I mean we're not getting up here into the yellows or the reds, right? Where we're, yo, see how we got that big red clip, right? We want to keep it pretty balanced. In fact, I like to keep it, just under the yellow, like just barely under the yellow, right? And then with certain games, I'll crank it down even more because I get really loud and I start yelling. And then the mic just kind of, it gets to its limits, right? We push our mics to the limit, and it just doesn't sound right. It sounds really distorted. It sounds bad, right? Now, at the same time, we could leave it just like this. The better quality microphone you have, the more surrounding noise your microphone is going to pick up. Now, this microphone that I'm using is $60 with the little arm. There's nothing fancy or special about this at all. Now, with no filters on, if I were to stand my mic up and say, hey guys, I'll be right back, you're going to hear all kinds of background noise, right? And I'm going to sound really muffled and really echoed. Well, to get rid of that and make a cheap mic sound a little more professional, there's some cool things right inside of this gear cog again, right? That gear cog is pretty much going to be your settings for whatever you have highlighted. If you want to do any kind of adjustments with your game capture, you're going to click this gear cog, okay? So right now we want to use what we call filters on our microphone input. So click this gear and go up here to filters. You're going to see a blank screen. Now click this plus button. There's 4 filters that I want you guys to add. I'm not going to give you what I think are the correct settings for those filters for multiple reasons. The main reason being that every microphone is different. Now, if you have an XLR microphone, you're probably not going to use these settings as much because you probably have some sort of an interface or mixer that's an outboard source that you can do that without using software to tune your microphone. Now, if you're using a USB microphone like I am, and it's just directly from the mic to the USB port, these little filters are awesome. The first filter you want to go and add is the compressor, okay? Just go in there, add the compressor. Don't mess with any of these settings yet, and I'll explain why. Then the next setting you want to add is noise suppression. Now, what noise suppression does is it tries to kill any noise that is under a certain decibel, right? So at a negative, I don't know if this means decibels, but at negative 30, let's just say that 0 being it picks up any sound within its natural proximity, so whatever the mic's designed to pick up. Now, the lower that number, if you take that number away, it's going to lower the distance from a way that it will pick up sound, meaning that at 0 it might pick up sound from 6 feet away, but at negative 30 it might only pick up sound from 6 inches away. Again, every microphone's different, so play with this setting, and I'll show you a cool way to kind of tune it that's kind of foolproof, and it's like really just a like rookie way to do it, but it helps and it works. So next filter you want to add is your limiter. The limiter is going to limit any noises going into the mic from reaching or going over a certain decibel. It's the same type of thing as our noise suppression, but on the opposite end, right? So we're speaking into our mic right now, and all of a sudden, whoa, we don't want that to explode into a clip. We don't want that to explode into this yellow or red. We want that limiter to really hold it back, right? We want it to be ready for that big impact sound. And then the last filter we want to add is going to be, oh, I didn't even see it. It's going to be gain. Now, gain is different from your actual gain on the monitor, and I say this because gain as a filter is actually an how do I say this? An auxiliary input, meaning that the gain in the monitor is through the software, but the gain inside of the filter is directly to the microphone. Now, what I do is I scoot this box over and I start talking like, hey guys, what's up chat? How you doing, guys? All right, thanks for tuning in this morning, man. I appreciate you guys. And I watch this little monitor right here. I watch this. Now, honestly, just adding these filters and not doing anything is pretty solid. Pretty solid, and it probably sounds pretty decent if we were to record through Streamlabs at the moment. But use this and use these 4 filters to get this pretty much right where you're seeing mine right now, right at a normal voice level. If you get really loud, it's not going to jump out of you and everything, and then just play with those until you fine tune it. Now, another thing I highly recommend, okay, and a lot of people will say, oh, this is cheating or whatever. Now, if you're going to make a bunch of different Twitch accounts on 9 different cell phones just for viewers, then yes, you're cheating. Now, there's nothing wrong with having a dummy account to watch your own stream. And the reason for this is because then you can get an idea of what everything looks and sounds like, and you can use that to fine tune your stream on the back end, right? So those 4 filters, this is the mixer, and anything that's going to add sound to your stream or your broadcast that goes in this mixer is going to add a monitor over here, right? If you don't want that monitor to show, you just click hide. Now, at the moment, I don't have a bunch of those because I'm not recording in multiple tracks. Another thing I'll get into down the road, we'll make a video on how to, while you're streaming and recording at the same time, record your audio tracks separate from your video so you can adjust levels and you know, kind of separate things if you're using things for video editing. But yeah, so part 3 is really, I just wanted to get in here and show you guys exactly what the mixer was, show you how you can use the mixer and get rid of the things you don't need, and then show you how to get in there and use those filters to really benefit and maximize the potential of your equipment no matter how much you spent. All right. Well, what we're going to do next, guys, is jump into video 4, and we're just going to go quick recap of 1 through 3 and give a little rundown, and hopefully I will see you guys for future videos. Thanks a bunch.